This video is for the second knowledge organiser on fractions for your 10 Foundation classes. What I would like you to do is read the knowledge organiser, watch this video and work through the examples on page 1, try the questions from page 2 and then complete any maths watch work set. So if we have a look, today's knowledge organiser is going to be on adding fractions. So what we want to do when we're adding fractions is we want to make our denominators the same. So we have 2/5 add 2/3. So what we do is we look at the 3 and the 5 and we say what number is in both the 3 and the 5 times table. That number would be 15. Now you don't have to use 15, you can use any other number that is in both the times table. So you could use 30, you could use 45, you could use 60. The only thing to be aware is the bigger number you choose, the more simplifying that you have to do at the end and the bigger the numbers you have to multiply. The other thing to bear in mind is you can find your denominator here by multiplying 5 and 3 together to get that bottom number, but again it's easier to think what's the smallest number in both the 5 and the 3 times table. Anyway, so we've got our denominators of 15. We now need to find our numerators. So what we do is we say what has 5 been multiplied by to get to 15. It's been times by 3. So what we do is we times our numerator, our 2, by 3, and that gives us 6. We then say what has our 3 been multiplied to get by 15, and it's been multiplied by 5. So we do 2 times 5 and that gives us 10. Once we get to this point we add our numerators and that gives us 16 over 15. We then want to simplify this and turn this back into a mixed number. So we say how many 15s go into 16? It goes in once with one remainder, so it becomes 1 and 1 15. So our next question says a maths exam has 24 questions. Half of the questions on the numbers are number topics, a third of them are on algebra, the rest on geometry. What fraction of the questions are geometry questions? Now I'm going to set this out differently to how your knowledge organiser has it. If you notice, it's talking about fractions. You actually don't need this because it's asking for the fraction of questions. You could use that, but you don't necessarily need that to answer it. Some of you may do that by finding a half of that, a third of that, and finding what's remaining and writing that as a fraction over 24. That would be correct. The way I'm going to do it is by adding and subtracting fractions. So we have half of them and a third of them are number and algebra. So again, we want to find a common denominator. A common denominator would be 6. So I times that by 3, I times that by 2. 1 times 3 is 3. 1 times 2 is 2. So when we add them together, we get 5/6. Now it asks us what fractions of the questions are remaining. Now if you're going to do this, you do 1, which is our full number, because that's the total, take away 5/6. Now 1 is the same as 6/6. So when you do 6/6 take away 5/6, you get 1/6 as your final answer. So the total number of geometry questions are 1/6. What I'd like you to do is use this video to help you complete the questions on page 2 of your knowledge organiser in any maths watch work set. Thank you.